Girl, slay the house down boots, mama.
Now that was a bad choice.
Right. No. Don't try to change the subject. Spill the tea.
Okay, but what was she expecting?
Well, that bitch is crazy.
Honestly, Papa, we should have talked first.
Can you blame
She
her?
should probably drink a little less. Literally. Well, let's get into it then. It's time to spill the tea with Damon B.
Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Spill the Tea with Damon B. And of course, we have a very special guest, Gigi.
Hi,
And
everyone. Hi.
and this episode should be coming out on Christmas, so we're going to talk about Christmas.
Yay. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
So, Grandma, do you like Christmas?
I actually love Christmas. It's my favorite time of year. Although,
Really?
I have to say this year um, is probably the quietest Christmas that I've ever spent. So, as you know, I live away from you in the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I won't be seeing you,
No,
um, of course, and I won't be
of
seeing
course.
my other daughter and stepdaughters, and my other daughter is traveling elsewhere. So
I
I'm
I just love the
spending
intro. The intro, you're like, my other daughter. Like, I'm one of your daughters. You're like, I won't be seeing you. My other
my other
daughter.
daughter.
It's just- right.
Okay. Well, anyway, I don't mean it that
Okay.
way, but I just
Yeah.
mean other, as in other children.
Yeah.
Um, and so what I'm doing this year is getting the pit bulls and having the pit bulls for Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Mhm. 2
Okay.
big lugging pit bulls I'm
One of my
babysitting.
Yeah, one of my aunts, she owns two pit bulls and she's going away to see her long distance boyfriend. So
Yes.
Graham's coming in clutch here and she's gonna go watch the pit bulls over Christmas.
Well, actually, they're coming to our house and grandpa's really, really excited about that, as you can imagine.
Right.
Uh, and then we're gonna actually take them home, after Christmas to her house, and we're gonna do a little staycation, a romantic staycation at her
Oh,
house.
that sounds amazing.
Yes, it's gonna be
Yeah.
fun. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be our Christmas. So this year what I did,
Mhm.
because all of you kids have grown up, and it's really, really boring for Graham to just send another e-transfer.
Right.
Um, I chose to support, the Salvation Army, where I got, assigned a little 3-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy, and I get to go buy all their gifts and stockings and Christmas dinner and Christmas breakfast, and so that's what I'm up
Wow.
to. The problem being Graham is losing it as far as calendar.
Calendar day goes.
As far as the days go by really fast now, and
Right.
I just realized that Christmas is in only a couple, not even a couple of weeks, I guess. Whoops.
Actually, it's past. Christmas was actually a week ago. You're like, "Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
those poor
totally forgot."
kids.
Those poor kids. I totally forgot I signed up for that.
Yeah, so now I've created this whole, big mess
Yeah.
because I had nothing to do, and now I have a whole lot to do in a
Now
very short amount of time.
you're like, "Fuck, why did I sign up for"
And and pick up the pit bulls, and do this,
And
and do that, and really, it was supposed to be very quiet, and we're not even buying each other gifts this year. Um,
oh,
yeah,
you're
because we've come to a spot in our lives where which is wonderful for everyone out there listening that's young and like you are struggling and, living paycheck to paycheck. You
yeah.
do get to a spot eventually if you work really hard where you have everything you've ever wanted or need. Now that depends. Like I live within my means.
Mhm.
So maybe somebody else might say, "Well, I really want a mansion," or and I don't want those things. I just want what I have. And so we don't really need anything. And so therefore we've looked at each other and said like, if we do need something, we can go buy it any time of year. So we're trying
That's
to
true.
redefine Christmas.
That's actually awesome, and that's amazing that you're doing the Salvation Army thing.
Mhm.
Um,
And grandpa's actually gonna help me
oh, that's
with it.
really
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you run out of time, so you kinda need help.
exactly. He's been
Yeah.
told he has to.
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
on the second point here about, like, you already have what you need and stuff, well, Damon Bell wants a mansion.
Right.
So, we
Right.
gotta make
So
sure that
so
Born
you have a
e-Transfer
long way to
still
go
comes
before
in.
you get to where I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, and
that,
that's something to look forward to. And what I was going to say is probably for everyone, Christmas continually redefines itself.
Mhm.
Like you're in a spot right now where you don't have a spouse or children.
No.
Um, so and you're going and spending it probably with mom and everyone,
Yeah.
family. And then at some point you have a spouse and it's your early Christmas. And so you're, all romantically in love and buying each other things that you don't have. And then children possibly, and that makes a whole new thing. But
Oh.
then again, you redefine it where we're at. And I'm pushing. That's why I'm babysitting pit bulls because I'm pushing for grandchildren. So I'm making this
You said
possible as all possible.
you told your daughter, you said, "You go procreate, I'll watch the pit bulls."
Just give me the pit bulls. I'll take them anytime. Grandpa was like, "No, we're not taking the dogs." And I was like, "You just shut up. We're taking those dogs anytime she wants."
You're like,
Yeah,
"Next September, there better be a baby popping out."
exactly. Exactly. And that will again redefine our Christmas. You
There
know
we
what I
go.
mean? So
So, you're
it's
actually
interesting.
setting this up. You've set it up, so
Mm,
next Christmas, you'll
right.
actually have children to give
Right.
presents to.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I always have a plan.
Wow. See, I used to love Christmas, and then I got to a point where I absolutely hated Christmas.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Yeah, because when we all got together, there was
uh-huh.
fighting no matter what happened, and I was
Right.
just like, "This is pointless." It's just like, "This isn't fun anymore." It was fun growing up. Oh my god, and do you remember? I believed in Santa Claus until, like, the
Mhm.
8th grade, and
Mhm.
then I think that year you're like, "Well, you guys were drinking a little bit," and you're like, "Damon, come on." Like, "Do you really, really believe in Santa Claus?" And
Well,
I go,
I thought I thought that, maybe you were sort of faking it in the sense that you were saying you did, but you
yeah.
really didn't, and so I was just calling you out and saying, "You can be honest with Graham. That's
You
all."
can Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
I believed in it because my mom said she would never lie to me, and,
Oh.
well,
Oh.
lies were told.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wow.
I
Till
remember
the 8th grade.
told she did work really hard to keep that going, like,
Mhm.
I I started disbelieving, but then she'd bring me back in. Like, she put,
She'd reel it
like
in, reel you
she
in.
would reel it in, like, I don't know how, she made the snow, like, sparkle, she put, like, sparkles in the snow outside, she went on the roof because we always had the ladder on the side of the house because we had to go shovel off the roof sometimes.
Right.
She would literally go and make, like, reindeer footprints on the roof.
Aw.
It was
Aw.
literally like,
Good
she did
mom. Yeah,
everything in her power to do that,
that's
like,
good.
to keep the tradition going, and then I'd question something, she'd be like, "Nope, don't know what you're talking about," and I'm like, "Okay." Yeah.
Well, that was good,
Yeah.
and it's nice when you're a kid because it kinda does burst your, bubble in a way when you do finally realize that, Christmas
I was
isn't or Santa Claus isn't real.
you're like, "Christmas isn't real, actually."
Well, it almost comes to that at some point.
Right?
No, just kidding. But, yeah, so you kinda grow up that year when you finally
Right?
realize that, "Oh, that's not real, and these guys have been doing this," and it's really nice of your parents, but there's almost a flip side because I do know of parents now that are saying, "We don't do that to our kids because we
Yeah.
don't want our kids to think, A, we're liars, and
Yep.
B, that there's some, thing out there running around dropping presents off that we've worked really hard to pay for, you
Oh,
know?
wow, I never saw it like that.
Yeah.
I
And I
yeah,
used to actually say that to your mother. I used to say to her, make sure you're giving the gifts that cost the most and are the most expensive, because she worked
yeah,
hard. And make
mhm.
sure they're from you, not from some random man with a beard, right? But she
Yeah,
chose to, I think she chose the opposite,
yeah.
which is probably why you believe for so long.
Yeah, I was like,
You're
"Well,
like, I'm not believing I'm not going to get anything.
yeah, exactly." I was like, "We couldn't afford heat one year," and then I'm, like, getting all these great gifts, and I was like, "Of course it's not my mother, she can't afford it."
Yeah, exactly. So I could see where the where it went on for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my I
Yeah.
remember that year. See, that was one of the Christmases where we were literally wearing our winter jackets inside with blankets when we
My
didn't
goodness.
heat.
Oh, your life, Damon.
I know, right? And then it's like, that's the year we found out my room wasn't insulated because it
Mm.
was so cold.
Well, that would really prove that you
Yeah,
don't have any
no,
heat in
yeah.
Northern Ontario.
And then our pipes froze and the pipes burst. Oh my
Ah,
god. So Christmas time, it was just a lot of work actually because they were shoveling snow.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, Chris, I see where the bad things were coming from. It wasn't
Mhm.
necessarily just the fighting at
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, I don't recall that much fighting.
Oh, I think it's down. We played games a lot. We played a lot of
Oh,
games,
okay.
and
Okay,
everyone's
yeah. I do
competitive.
recall that, but I didn't play too many because I wasn't really
Yeah.
into it. So, I don't recall that. But I always liked what I miss the most now
Hmm.
being here, and that's on me because we chose to move here.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
your
do
fault.
right. I do I do miss the making the meal, like the big meal, and
Mm,
having everyone around the table, and I miss that.
yeah.
But I'm not willing to change locations for that.
Oh my and yeah, oh, and Graham made the best fudge ever. It's
Yeah,
pure, like, sugar, like,
yeah,
as soon as you bite in it, I'm like, "Sugar rush," like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was
It's
good.
probably good that we're not doing that because I can't have any of that anyway, so
Yeah, it's probably good we're not seeing each other, honestly.
I was trying on a bathing suit today for Hawaii, and I just went, "Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I don't know what's gonna happen here."
Oh my
I think I'm gonna have to wear, like, tracksuits in the pool.
god. Oh my god. like, laugh, and then my whole body shakes, so I get you, like
So if you see someone in Mexico wearing a tracksuit,
That's
just say
you.
hi. Yeah.
Just say hi.
Yeah.
So, would
Oh.
you ever consider going away for the holidays?
I would. I actually
Mm,
would now. I would love to do that with family.
mm.
But nobody seems to be able to get it together, you know? And your grandpa won't go.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
although he might now, after since he's been out of the country once, he might consider it. But I would do like even forget Christmas, let's go in, February, week
Mm.
long inclusive something for Christmas with family. I would do
I would
that.
I would love that, actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if we booked it on, like, Black Friday or something and then
Uh-huh.
got those good deals. Oh,
Yes. Yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
would be nice. So, and we're going for the first time in my life. I've never done the hot vacation except for the year I spent in Australia.
Australia, the whole year.
Yeah, but I
I've
mean
never traveled before.
I mean just going to like a hot place, for the week all inclusive.
Mm,
I've never
yeah,
done that. So we're doing that this year, which you were supposed to come, but you're not. But anyway, we'll move on from
yeah.
that.
Oh my god. Okay, so this was planned it was for a wedding. I was still in school, struggling to find a full-time job for after school, and I was like, "Guys, I don't know where I'm gonna be in a year. I can't put money down right."
Well, we'll get you next year.
Yeah,
Next
next
time.
year.
Yeah.
Next year,
Hopefully.
exactly.
So
Oh,
what are your plans this year for Christmas?
so this year for Christmas, I'm
Mhm.
planning on hoing and just rolling in the snow. No, I'm going home, so I'm going
Oh,
all
okay.
the way up north.
Homing. Oh, all the
What?
way.
All
I
the way
thought you
up
meant home,
north.
home, like ho home. Ho.
Uh,
Not.
I'm homing.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking, the train up north, to meet up with my one other grandmother, and then she's gonna take me to go see my mom up north, which is awesome. So that's gonna be almost a 7-hour adventure.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Yeah. That's a long
yeah.
day.
No, it's a really long day. So then
Well,
after I see my mom, well, we're probably gonna go tobogganing and stuff because she really loves that.
mhm.
Which I'm excited for because they have tons of snow up there, and we don't have a flake of snow in Toronto.
No, no, we don't here either, and we won't. Like, we might get a little bit, and it just keeps going away like you guys. So
Yeah,
you do kind of miss that over the holidays,
I
right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
Christmas.
as you mature, that seems to be important. Yeah, just for Christmas. Like, I wish we could just have the beautiful white Christmas
Yeah.
and then get rid of snow for, till next year.
Well, exactly. See, I
Mhm.
say I miss it, but then last Christmas when I went to Aurelia, we literally that's when we had, like, a huge snowstorm, and there
Oh,
was
I remember that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
people were driving and they were getting stuck, so then
Mhm.
my mom was like, "We should go out and help them with a shovel and stuff."
Oh.
I'm like, what was it, Christmas Day, I guess? It was Christmas Day or yeah, it was Christmas Day. I was like, "Fuck that," and then we ended up going out. I was soaked. I was like, "Why are we doing good deeds on Christmas
Oh
Day?"
my
Like,
god! God
I was not
forbid.
God
Oh.
forbid. I was like, "If they're stupid enough to drive in this weather, let them be."
And it's Christmas Day, like,
And
everybody's
it's
going to
Christmas.
families. Yeah,
Right? I was
amen.
like, "Oh
That
god."
is
And
not
then
nice.
well, it took us, like, 30 minutes, like, we went over there with shovels, and then they're like, "Oh, we called for, like, a tow truck." I'm like, "You couldn't see anything." And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, okay." They're like, "Yeah, the tow truck said they wouldn't be able to show up until tomorrow." I'm like,
Oh my
"Oh,
god.
really? Really?
Wow.
Hmm."
Yeah.
I was like, "Interesting."
So you had to push them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's impossible. You're just slipping on ice under the snow when you're
Yeah.
trying to, like,
Yeah.
grip, right?
Yeah.
But so that's why I don't like about snow, but yet you miss it when
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
there, which
Yeah, it's nice with the lights and everything, but that's nice if you're sitting inside drinking, a hot toddy and
what's that?
well, like a hot drink with alcohol in it
Oh.
and looking out and seeing the snowfall. It's beautiful. But yeah, if you have to be out in it, I have no interest whatsoever. Sledding,
See
no. Any of
yeah.
it, no. No, thank you. I'm good.
See, we now have a, like, tradition of going around looking at Christmas lights, but we'll stop at Tim's, get, like, a candy cane hot chocolate,
Hmm.
bring some Baileys, for the people in the back,
Right.
and then we'll look at Christmas lights and, like, go around
Well,
and
that's
stuff.
nice. That's nice in the
Yeah.
car, as long
Yeah,
as you
in
don't
the
gotta get
car
out.
with
Yeah.
heat. Yeah,
Yeah.
with heat. I was never see, my mom was the so like, I'm totally opposite my mom when it comes to this. She's like, "Let's go snowshoeing, let's go tobogganing, let's
Ugh.
walk out at the provincial park at night with headlamps on."
Ugh.
I'm like, "What? Where do you get these ideas? Let's walk at night with headlamps on where there's creatures in the bush." Like,
Yeah, we're not talking Northern Ontario, like Aurelia and Barrie area.
no.
We're talking northern where there's timber wolves, Ontario.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I was
Where
just like
there's bears and
yeah.
they're closer than you think, right?
Oh my god, the four-wheeling incident? Oh god. So for the four-wheeling incident, I just turned 13. My mother got me a four-wheeler for my birthday. I was just like, "What is this?" Like, she doesn't know me at all. I was like, "Thanks?" Question
I
mark.
know. I remember when she was buying it. I was like, Why?"
Really? This is what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Well, the the very first time I rode it, grandma was on the four-wheeler behind me, and so was my aunt. We're riding along, whatever. I guess I was having a good time. All of a sudden, big black mama bear rolling down the hill right in front of me, literally. Maya is grandma's dog Poodle, who is still alive to this day, which I do
Yes.
not know how.
No.
She's running in front of me, like in front of the four-wheeler. Next thing I know, I see a black flash rolling down the hill, and I
Mhm.
can't see her anymore. The bear totally took her out. I turn around, I like stop the four-wheeler, whip around, and all I remember is you saying, "Keep calm, we're just gonna turn around." And I'm
Yeah.
like freaking out on the inside.
Yeah, your eyeballs were as big as I don't know what. They were so huge, and I got you to back in and back around because that was remember that was the other thing. There was very little room to
Yes.
turn around, and I knew that you weren't going any further.
I was like,
So, remember we got turned around and I said to who's on the back with me, Heidi or I can't
yeah, I
remember.
think
Anyway, one
Heidi.
of them. And your mom and grandpa had went back to the house for something, hadn't they? They
No, they
weren't
were still
there.
walking. No, they were walking because there was enough four-wheelers, so they were walking with the dogs way behind us because we just went for it.
Oh, well, anyway, yeah, they weren't around. So
Yeah.
I got you turned around and I said, "Okay, just head back to the house." Well, I'm telling you, I said to whoever was on the back of mine, I said, "Watch this. He won't even check to see if, if the bear gets
Oh,
up."
I was gone. I was gone.
You
It was
never
every
turned
man for
around
himself.
once to check
No,
and see if we were okay on the behind you.
no, I know, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No,
And
no,
you
I
got in
didn't.
the driveway and you jumped off and you went in, stormed in the house.
I cried, and I said, "This was the worst birthday gift
Yeah,
ever."
and that was it. Did you ever ride it again?
Yeah, oh, yeah, but just
Oh, you
around the
did?
yard. We never went
Oh,
in the
okay.
bush. Just around your property.
Well, that was actually I was always concerned because
Mm,
where we lived there, that was very, very in the wilderness.
it was in
And
the
I
wilderness.
was always concerned if the kids went off on the four-wheeler by themselves
Yeah.
because you just never knew what was going on there. So, and then we had that incident with Oscar,
Oh, yeah.
our dog, and
Yeah,
Timberwolves.
Oscar got ate by wolves, which I
Yeah,
was
and
just like, "Oh
well,
my
and he
god."
didn't survive. Um, and Maya, actually, if we talk about the poodle who's still alive,
Yeah,
she was attacked by those wolves at the same time, and she's
but
still
she
alive.
survived.
Yeah,
She
we don't
survived.
understand that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was why in the end I moved away from there because that was really, to me, was terribly close to the house and close to, we were in their territory. They weren't in
Yeah.
ours. So I was kind of glad you didn't take off or take to it and,
Oh my god.
like a rough and tumble boy would come down there and jump on it and leave and then I'd be worried the whole time. So I'm not
Exactly.
I'm not that unhappy.
Oh, thank god. Because that's not me whatsoever. I just remember getting it. I was like, "Yeah, it was fun to go fast and stuff up and down the road, but not in the
Mhm.
bush." My
Yeah. Yeah. You
goodness.
didn't like getting dirty. So
No.
anyway, that takes us far, far away from Christmas.
Oh, well, it was a Christmas miracle that Maya didn't die.
True,
There,
true,
we
and
looped
that's
that
went
in.
on over the years because I think every other pet that's been around is gone now,
Oh
so,
my god, yeah.
I we're not sure about Maya. We think maybe there's something to do with Stephen King, and
What?
anyway, that's a whole other episode, I
You
think.
know oh, well, okay, so for my Christmas present, I want next time I come out, I wanna go visit, like, the Curse of Oak Island or whatever.
Oh,
Um,
yes, we're watching that right now. That's
are
on.
you?
Mhm.
I just
It's
seen the, like,
the season.
um
Yeah,
oh my god, I just
yeah.
seen, like, the promo for it, like, the poster or
Yeah,
something.
we're only about 2 hours away from that, and, sure, we'll go over there.
Oh, thank god. Okay,
So that'll be your
cool.
Christmas present. Easy peasy. Oh,
Easy peasy.
plus the money. Plus
Plu oh,
the
plus the e
e-transfer.
we can't forget the e-transfer because that's going into the mansion fund, so
Yeah, so when you get the mansion, you can put those Peasly little checks in there. I
yeah.
remember this is horrible. Okay, here's a horrible thing I'm gonna tell you about
Okay.
Christmas.
Oh, okay.
My grandma used to give me this is terrible. I hope nobody listens to this. Um, my one grandma, and I'm not gonna say which one, used to give me
It's a
a
50-50, but okay, go on.
card every like for Christmas, or maybe it was birthday. I'm gonna say Christmas because 'cause we're talking Christmas,
Yeah.
and in it was a $2 bill.
Well, back then for you, that could buy a house, so I don't know what you're complaining
No,
about.
no, it couldn't. And I think she stopped at a certain age, which I was really happy because it was really hard, at
Yeah.
15 to look at her and be, like, excited. But I do kick my butt in a way that I didn't keep one of those $2 bills because now we don't have them.
Exactly,
So
and
I
you
should
could
have kept one.
yeah.
But anyway, it was just a gift that I should have been thankful that my grandma, was there and was giving me that. So I feel bad in
Mm.
that sense. But since we're, being truthful on this podcast,
Yeah.
it was a gift that I kind of was like, you know what, grandma, you could have just, kept that
Okay, so let's
and
talk
bought some soup.
yeah, you could have bought yourself some soup with that
Yeah.
$2. You
Yeah.
didn't have to give that to me,
Right.
thank
I bet you that $2 would have bought at that time 4 cans of soup.
you. Yeah, well
I'm just saying, or something, like a bag of
Right.
flour. I don't know. Whatever she would desire.
Well, when you were 15, didn't you want a bag of flour?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Well,
No.
um, okay, so on the
Okay, that's
topic of
how I feel better. I've never
you
told
feel
anyone that.
better?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm glad you got that off your chest. That must have been weighing you down for
It was.
years.
It's been weighing me down for a long time.
Woo.
Oh, feel so much lighter.
Oh my
I
god.
did not appreciate the $2. I appreciated the card, but I felt like I could just get the card
Yeah,
and she could keep the $2.
I felt that before. I received gifts and I was like, you know what? If they would have just gave me a card and, you
Right.
know, just that or like the one present and not the other one, I would have been okay with that.
Right.
Just because I'm a hoarder and I
Mhm.
have so much stuff accumulating, and I said, please don't get me stuff I don't need. Like my mom asked me, "Are you getting Christmas decorations?" And I'm like, "No, I have nowhere to store them for the other, 300 days of the year. Like I
Right.
don't."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that's where we're at this year and we're telling all the children and you
Hmm.
and I'm sure lots of people that are my age are in this position. We do not want anything. And to buy us something is for us to just take it and throw it in a corner
Exactly. Or the
because
furnace.
right. And if it's $2, just keep it.
Oh, that must be so triggering for you. I'm gonna get you $2. I'm gonna make a $2 bill and put it in your Christmas card.
Anyway, no, we're feeling like this year, and I think we've told everyone just don't
Yeah.
buy us anything because we have so much stuff, and like it just accumulates. And if you look at
Yeah.
your apartment, like we're in a huge house, and it is
Yeah.
full of stuff, and we just can't, And if we need something, we're at a place where we can just go and get it. We don't have to wait for
Right.
Christmas. But I do remember a time when I was young, and I think it's quite different now, I will say this. When I was young, we got stuff only at Christmas and our birthday.
Yeah. I now
Yeah.
it's different nowadays. I was just thinking this the other day. I was just like, we go out and buy stuff when we want it. Like, we
Mhm.
don't wait. We don't ask someone. We don't wait the 6 weeks of anticipation, like
Yeah, yeah, like,
um,
we used to we would get the Sears catalog. I don't know if you've ever even seen that or heard of it.
oh, I've
Um,
seen yep. Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a big, thick catalog, and part of it was toys. And we would sit down with that catalog. I mean, it was all a huge thing. And I think that's sort of similar in a lot of things like birthdays, Christmas, Halloween, where they have to sort of redefine it.
Yeah.
And not around presents anymore because I think people now, kids, for the most part, there are people I'm sure that are poor that can't do that. But for the most part, like even with the dollar store, a kid can get a toy for $1. Whereas
Yeah.
when I was young, that there was no such thing. And we would, sit down with the catalog, pick out all the things, you'd circle it and send a letter to Santa and the whole 9 yards. And that's when we would get, like, I used to be so overwhelmed at Christmas. I used to cry. I remember. I was thinking about that this morning.
Oh my
I would
god.
cry every single year because I was so overwhelmed with stuff, and like, I would get all my clothes for the year
Oh my
too.
god.
So I'd have to try them all on, like, it was just a huge parade of clothing, and I have to try everything on, and I have to look at all the toys, and then we'd have to pack up and go to my grandma's, and it was just so overwhelming, that I did take that one thing with my kids. I did not go anywhere on Christmas Day. I would not go anywhere because I got so overwhelmed with that. I just wanted to stay home with my new stuff, and I was never allowed to. It all got put away, and then we had to leave, and it was just ugh. Although I love my grandma, I loved where we went, so I got over it pretty
Well,
quick.
the $2 bill, grandma, or
No, this was the
yeah. I was gonna say.
this was the other one.
It seems like you had a favorite. It's just gonna
Well, actually, this was my favorite, but I was just saying to your grandpa that she actually was terrible at buying presents. I don't really know why, and I was actually her favorite. Now, she was married 3 times, this woman, and she had a ton of stepchildren and step-grandchildren. So, I was really lucky because I was actually her favorite, and she told me that, which
Oh.
was kinda weird, but anyway. I told her she was my favorite, but she was awful at buying gifts, and every year she would buy me, and I don't even know, I think they're called milk duds.
Oh, yeah, milk
They
duds.
come in a carton, like a milk carton, and they're
Oh.
chocolate. I think they're milk. Oh, I can't remember what they were ca Whoppers. Have you ever heard of that? They
No,
probably
I
got rid of it because they were disgusting. They were so bad, and I would have to, again, be happy and thankful for
Oh my
this
god.
package of Whoppers that were just disgusting, and I look at them and be like, "Why? Why do you buy, just keep the money, I don't even want them." And she bought those right up till, like, I was 21 when she died.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, and she continued to buy these, and I continued to accept them, not say anything.
Well, I just told, I think my mom last year, she'd buy me the toffee where it's like half a nutshell open and then it's like caramel and then like chocolate on the inside. I forget what they're called.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
so
is that those?
awful.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Ferrero
Oh,
Ferrero Rocher or whatever?
no, 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 no. They're
Oh,
not Ferrero Rocher. These you get that at the dollar store. They taste like plastic,
ugh,
and oh my god, they're so disgusting.
ugh,
And I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to seem
right,
ungrateful. And
mhm.
last year, I just go, Mom, really, you don't
Save
have to get me
save your
anything.
money.
Save
Yeah,
your money. I said,
yeah.
this is the worst present you could give me. This is a slap in the face. I said, you don't love me.
I shoulda had you around with the two with the $2
With
grandma.
the $2. Oh, you know what's even worse? One year, my mom gave me chocolate with peanuts in it, like, what, a Snickers or something, and she doesn't clue in right away, right? It takes a
Yeah,
little bit. I
yeah.
go, "Oh, thanks, mom, for the gift," or whatever. She goes, "Oh, no worries. I thought, when you get hangry sometimes," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, we could have stopped at the thank you, not continue." And I was like, "If we wanna go on, we can talk about my peanut allergy," and she's like,
Oh,
"Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry about that." I'm like, "What?" And then last Christmas, my
oh
grandma,
dear.
oh my Omi, love my Omi. It was so funny. I opened it up. I wanted soap. I wanted like a soap for my face, whatever.
Oh,
And I
okay,
was like,
yeah.
"Oh, thanks so much." And I'm looking at it and I'm reading the box and it says may cause cancer on the back.
Oh my god. On
And I
the
was just
box.
like, on the box. And I was like, "Omi, just a quick question.
Oh my goodness.
Do you love me?"
Oh.
I was just like, and
Yeah,
I
there
was
are
like,
sometimes you get a questionable gift, right? Which I'm sure on the part of the other person is
yeah,
is totally, or I'm sure I've given a gift where people have looked at it and went, "What? Why?
What the fuck?
Why? What is happening? Why is
It
this
was
happening? Yeah, yeah. But I think
but
back to I think that uh, I think it's eventually like things are going to start to change where this isn't so gift centered. Don't you
yeah.
feel like?
Like, I that's what I said for, like, this year, like, we only do what I think it's $50. I thought it was 25 at first, so thank God
Mm,
someone told me it was 50 because I had to go back out and buy some things.
right.
But, I said, "Let's just get together." Like, my one grandma, my nan, I
Mhm.
said, "Don't get me anything. I just wanna spend time with you, that's it. Like,
Right.
you don't have to get me anything." Because now I don't know, I'm at the point in life where it's like, I don't need really anything. If you wanna get
Right.
me something, I'll say Tide Pods. Like, if you really
Mhm.
wanna be helpful, like, my
Mhm.
mommy gets me, like, a 40 pack of toilet paper from Costco, and I'm like, "That's helpful
Right.
because I gotta walk at home, you know? So if you wanna
Mhm.
get me toilet paper for Christmas, love you." Like,
Mhm.
Tide Pods, detergent, like, the essentials to living on
Mhm.
your own as a bachelor walking
Mhm.
around like sex on a stick. I'm just kidding.
With Tide Pods.
With
Is that
smelling
is
like
that is that what Tide Pods do?
I don't know. Let me tell you, I feel really confident when I use Tide Pod. Maybe
I
they'll
I'm
sponsor
gonna have
this.
to start using them.
Be like, "Are you feeling less confident? Tide Pods, baby. You're gonna be walking around and everyone's gonna wanna
Yeah.
smell ya."
You you should do a commercial for them.
Tide Pod. And then, like, sometimes I treat myself. I'll stick 2 in there. If I wanna be extra sexy and
Oh my
sensible,
gosh.
I might just stick 2 in the washer.
Oh my goodness, that's insane. I have never
Christmas.
heard that.
Just kidding.
Oh, well, hopefully somebody gets you some Tide Pods.
Oh, no, my cousin was like, "What do you want for Christmas this year?" And I realized I didn't ask anyone for Tide Pods. I said, "Tide Pods!" And she was like, "Holy Jesus." And I was just like, "Sorry, did that come off too strong?" Tide Pods.
It's just
Tide Pods.
it's just a container of confidence.
It's a container of confidence, and let me tell you, it's just you throw one in. You don't gotta get because when I was measuring out and like other detergents measuring out in the cup or sometimes, I don't know what I was doing. I would get the liquid all over my hand sometimes. Not with
Right.
Tide Pods. You just
No.
throw them in. Throw them
So
in,
there you go.
forget.
That's a great gift idea for anybody out there who has a young adult, which I think it's great. No, really is, like your grandma's doing with toilet paper, Tide Pods,
Oh my god.
cleaning supplies, stuff like that, that you wouldn't think that somebody would really appreciate. But I think, looking back and you're saying now, that would be really appreciated, when you're young and you're not thinking about it at the store. Like, you don't
Yeah.
wanna be going out and buying cleaning products and toilet
No,
paper and paper
exactly.
towel and stuff like that. It's no fun.
Exactly. Oh, one year I
Yeah.
got toothbrush head, like a whole bunch of toothbrush heads and razor heads. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This was a
Ah,
brilliant
see? Is
idea.
that from Omi too? She's smart.
No, that one was from Nan, I think.
Oh,
Omi usually gets me, like, the toilet
and I'm
paper
just
and
doing, like, the
laundry.
the the money
Money,
transfer.
which I love too, I'm not
Okay.
complaining about that.
Alright, alright.
Well,
As long as it gives you as much confidence as the
exactly.
pods.
It's no $2 bill, but I'm just kidding.
I should start with that.
The Um, no, the e-transfer gives me a lot of confidence too because I
Good,
go,
good.
"Oh my god, I can afford to live this month." Just kidding.
That always helps.
That always helps. Um, no, so you know what you should do
Mm,
is the person you're watching the pit bulls for, since you
mm,
want more grandchildren, I'll point that out
mhm,
because I am a
mhm.
grandchild. If you
Yes.
want more
I
grandchildren,
mean, when I say that, I mean babies.
yeah,
Like,
okay.
I'm expecting you to have some too.
Well,
You know what I
then it would
mean?
be great
Well,
grandchildren. Well,
whatever.
and you're
I'm
not
just
old
saying
enough to be a
babies.
great grandma.
Oh,
You're
come on.
yeah, you're not old enough.
Alright.
And
Thank you.
okay, but you should get her Tide Pods if you really want grandchildren. Maybe she'll go out and get some if she has
With some
Tide Pods.
confidence, she'll have lots of confidence. Is that what you're
E
saying? Because 'Cause I'll do it.
exactly. Exactly. Forget the condoms, get Tide Pods.
I'll I'll slip them out of her bags before she goes.
Right? A couple I'll just pop
So
a couple Tide Pods in there. What did you leave? Oh my god, I think you left Metamucil or something there, and
oh,
she's like, "What is this?" Remember? Do the same thing with the Tide Pods.
yes. I'll just leave them and take all the anything else out of the house.
Everything else. Be
Yeah.
like, "Listen, I need grandkids, and this is the only way you're gonna get it if
Yes.
you
And
gotta
I
have
mean
confidence."
babies. I have a grandchild, but he's
Yeah,
grown up and should be having
yeah.
children. So, well, not exactly yet, but soon.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe we can talk about this next episode because everyone's having kids, and I'm like the only one in my friend group that doesn't have kids, and I'm
Yeah, how about
23.
we do a pod on that
Okay,
later? Yeah. So
love
we
that.
should, yeah, carry on with Christmas here because it is Christmas. But we're
Christmas
we're
dinner
kind of
to
doing like what we would do if we were together at Christmas,
What's
right?
that?
Is just sit here and talk and laugh
Oh,
at each
I was
other.
like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, you're right. And we watch movies. Oh, and we watch, like, Will Ferrell movies. I think that's, like,
Yes.
the
Yes.
key.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did make your other aunt um watch that movie oh what's it called? A Christmas Story? Where he gets a gun, a BB gun, and did you
Will
watch it?
Ferrell?
No, no, this was, called A Christmas Story,
Oh,
and it's one of
oh,
my favorite movies, and and your Aunt Mimi watched it. She could not understand what was happening, and she was just like, "This is the worst movie I've ever watched in my life." It's like a Christmas classic.
oh, yeah, is it in
Mhm.
black and white?
Sort of, like, it looks like
Yeah,
that, yeah. It's
okay.
very old, yeah.
Well, see, those movies don't have a storyline, so so I don't think it's for me personally. But okay, speaking of Christmas movies, I love Christmas with the Cranks. That
Mm.
is one of my favorite
I
Christmas
don't is
movies.
that with, Alan
Yes,
what's
Alan.
his name?
What's his last
I
name?
think
Yeah,
that's his last name. Tim Allen.
Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would check out. Tim
Mhm,
Allen.
mhm.
And so I loved all his Santa Claus movies that he did. I think there's like 3 or 4 where he's actually Santa Claus.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
love
Yeah, I've
those.
seen those.
Oh my
I'm a
god,
big
what
fan of Elf with,
Elf?
Will
Yeah.
Ferrell, and The
Oh,
Grinch
The
with,
Grinch.
like the real one, not the
Yeah, with Jim Carrey.
Jim
Oh,
Carrey. Yeah, I really
yeah.
like that one. Mhm.
Oh, I love Christmas Vacation. That's a classic.
Yes, yes, that's one of my favorite.
That no, yeah, that has to be like I think my favorite Christmas movie ever. I think so.
Mm, yeah.
Well,
Well, now with all these streaming, things, I noticed they make you pay for all those movies.
right?
Yeah, like, I used to have them all in DVD where, you could just pull them out and watch them, but I got rid of those thinking, "Oh, I can just watch them because 'cause they're old movies."
Yeah.
But I went in I saw one of them the other day, and I thought, "Oh, I wonder if I can watch that," and no, I have to pay $3.99.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
and I'm not willing to do that, so
oh, well. See, my mom still has the DVD player and kept
oh,
all the
good gee
DVDs.
oh, that's good.
So, we got
So
all
you
of
guys
them.
can do that when you go home.
Exactly. And
Fun.
then I love it because we have an electric fireplace, so it looks like there's a fire
Aw.
going.
Oh, and
And
you have
then,
some chocolate? Like, see, there's where the hot toddy comes in, and it'll
mhm.
be snowing. You know there'll be snow there.
Oh my god, we haven't even talked about getting the Christmas tree. So, we would usually go chop down a tree. Like, my mom loved going in the bush and chopping down a tree. I
Oh,
remember when I said I'm the complete opposite of my mother?
yes.
One of the things I hated most is when I come home from school and she'd be like, "Let's go chop down a tree today." I'd be like, "I just had to deal with school. Now you want me to go chop down a tree?"
Ugh.
Cool.
Yeah,
The one
we
oh,
didn't even do the real tree. We always
yeah,
had a, fake one.
yeah,
Yeah.
lucky,
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah,
um,
I'm not into that either.
so the one year we went, we walked I think an hour and a half one way into the bush. She didn't find a tree she liked at all. But the
Ugh.
dog, one of our dogs, we had 4 dogs, and I think the Newfoundlander came back with something in his mouth,
Oh,
and it was like a piece of a carcass or something. So then
oh.
she was like, "Where did you get that?" Because it wasn't fair
Maybe it's
apparently.
a human?
No, it was a
No.
moose carcass.
Oh,
So
okay.
she said, "I'm gonna go look for this moose carcass so I can saw it up," because we had a saw because we were looking for a Christmas tree.
Mm.
And so we didn't come back with a Christmas tree. We came back with moose carcass because she cut it up for every one of the dogs. And I
Mm.
refused to walk further. So I
Mm.
sat down and she would say I pouted, which I was
You
debating
were,
on
right,
asking someone to
pouting.
call child services.
I don't blame you for pouting.
Yeah, so then
Yeah.
when she came back, we're walking along and our Newfoundlander was very weak at the time, so was carrying the moose bone for him that she cut up,
Mhm.
and I started to pelt her with snowballs because now
Oh,
we're
dear.
3 hours in the bush, we're not walking fast because our dog is injured. I'm pelting her with snowballs to keep me entertained. Well, I
No.
guess she had enough,
Oh.
and all of a sudden she lost her cool,
Oh, dear.
and she did say she regretted it, but
Oh.
she threw the moose bone at me,
Oh!
and I went to run, and it actually hit my elbow, and
Oh.
I
Oh.
remember that. It was the worst pain in the world. Like, she whipped that moose bone at me, and it
Sounds
hit
sounds like so much fun.
Children's Aid.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, like,
And so
I don't know
I
if I should be, like, crying or laughing at the
right?
story.
So what ended up I dropped to my knees, bawling my eyes out, right? And then she
Oh.
comes over, she's like, "Damon, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to," like, blah, blah,
Oh.
blah, 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 cut to me with a cast or whatever in a
Oh.
sling.
A
Well,
sling.
she yeah, a homemade sling, by the way,
Oh.
because she said, "I can't take you to the hospital because 'cause they'll take you away from me," and she said and this is what she was like, "I'll get you whatever you want for Christmas,
Oh
whatever you want. Whatever you want, I'll get you for Christmas." And I was like, "I just wanna go home."
my
Like, I wasted my one wish. I'm just going home.
oh my
But
goodness.
I think
Oh.
that's the year she got us cable for the house for, like, 3 months or something,
Aw,
just
that's
so I could
nice.
just so I could experience TV, but I think in those 3 months, I was wearing the sling, so I
Oh,
kinda worked.
so yeah, you couldn't do anything else.
Exactly. But,
Nice. So that
Christmas
worked out.
memories,
Yeah. I was just gonna say that's a nice note to end on.
right? I
Mm,
just don't go in the bush with
jeez.
someone
Well,
60
that's what
pounds
I
heavy.
always say, and so that's what I say is, why, why?" Right?
I don't think I've ever heard you say that many whys, but sure.
I mean, all this outdoorsy stuff, and
Oh, yeah,
it
that.
just
Yeah, no,
all
no, no, no,
ends
no,
up
no.
in just havoc and, you know, just
And
stay at home.
don't get me wrong, I like going for a hike maybe
Oh,
once or twice a year,
not me.
preferably in the summer, not
Mm-mm,
in the winter when you have to wear snow pants, boots, and you're sweating like crazy under
mm,
3 layers of clothing, and you're just out in the middle of nowhere, no cell service,
yeah.
and you're literally walking and she'd love to go snowshoeing too. I hated snowshoeing.
Ugh.
Like, I'm too heavy to stand on snow, it's against the physics, like
Yeah, and it's a lot of work, like, a
it's a lot
lot
of
of work.
work.
You gotta be pretty
Yeah.
strong to do that,
Exactly,
which I'm
and let me
not.
tell you and
I'm
I
not
wasn't
into it.
happy. Oh my god. Ask
Yeah,
your children what they like to do, because
yeah.
if you're forcing them to do stuff they don't like during Christmas, they might end up not liking you that much. Like, I fully told my mom, "When she's old, she's going in a home,
Oh, dear.
and she
That
might get"
that'll teach
yeah,
her for the moose bone.
no, seriously, and I literally told her, "You might get pushed down the stairs.
Oh
It
god.
depends on how I'm feeling. Merry Christmas, Mary." Like.
Wow, this is sort of ending on a very dark note.
Well, now you got me going because
Oh,
at the end of the stairs is gonna be the Christmas tree, and I'll throw her down a blanket and be like, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal," "Oh, Home Alone," another good movie. Like
Home Alone, yes, that's what you're
yeah,
thinking
Home
about.
Alone. That's what
Yeah,
I was thinking of, the inspiration for that.
right.
And then leaving her at the bottom of the stairs, and she's gonna be old and frail, so she won't be able to move or call for help,
Oh,
really. Ugh,
oh. We
honestly,
know that you wouldn't do that.
revenge is the best dish served cold at Christmas. I'm just kidding.
That's so
On that
dark.
note,
On that note, I
thanks
wanna
so
wish
much for listening.
everyone a
Yeah.
very Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I guess this episode is coming out at Christmas.
I
Okay,
think it's
happy
coming out
note.
the day after.
Okay, day
So,
after Christmas.
happy Boxing
Merry
Day,
Yeah.
and do you do the Boxing Day shopping?
Of course. I love Mark's Work Warehouse. I
Oh,
love going to Mark's on Boxing Day. I
okay.
got so much stuff. Last year, I got a brand new winter jacket. I look so good in this winter jacket right
Mm,
now. So
nice,
happy.
nice,
Um, oh yeah, and then last Boxing Day too, or the Boxing Day before, I went and got a new cell phone and a cell phone plan. Super
nice.
cheap. Shout out to Virgin.
Right.
Um, Oh yeah, it was amazing, and I was a customer with the I got a better deal than the Boxing Day deal because I was with them for so long, which was I think like 4 years. They're like, "We'll actually give you an extra like $5 off or something." I was like,
Oh, wow,
"What?
nice,
Oh my
nice.
god." So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
cool.
I'm not a big boxing, never was, but we may find that's part of our newfound Christmas is,
Mm.
maybe some window shopping. I don't know. Let's see.
Well, maybe look for vacations too on Boxing Day, they might be
Yes.
cheap. On
Yeah.
Black Friday, oh my god, they were so cheap. You could go to Cuba for a week for like $750 for an all-inclusive resort. I was just like, "Oh."
Well, if I call you from Cuba, you know what happened.
Well, yeah, exactly. Cool.
If we do the next podcast and you hear Cuban music outside, you know
You
where I am.
right. Smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Doing coke. Yeah.
Jesus. Well,
You're like,
I've never tried that, but as I'm getting older, I'm, like, thinking, I should try that.
"Well, hey, just because 'cause you're in Cuba doesn't mean you can't roll around in the snow." You know what I mean? I'm
Oh,
just kidding.
oh my god. Like, don't you
Let's
feel like,
build a
I don't
snowman.
know. Yeah, you should try things, new things, they say.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe not,
I
though.
don't know. I don't know either. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, I'm your host, Damon B, and I hope you enjoyed spilling the tea with me.